Well, everybody, I'm super excited to talk to the next guest who's at the lemonade stand, my friend Candiace Dillard-Bassett. Hey, girl.
Her lemonade.
Yes. Okay. I'm so excited to talk to you. Every time we talk, we have a good time. I really do
Yes.
tell people all the time that I love you. We've had conversations in the past about you kind of being villainized, which has changed a lot this season. So we will talk about all of that. But, the Candiace I know is an amazing person. So I always hold it down because I love you and I think you're a great human being. And you my Howard sister.
Oh, wait, I don't know if you have a drink, but I wanted to toast to us for being on the 35 under 35 in the DMV. For those of you who it's a big deal. So cheers to you because
cheers.
you are doing the things. You are the next Oprah, and I didn't know you were on the list. I was so excited to see you on the list, and I was like, yes, you belong on the list.
Candice,
yes.
Stop. Wow. I wish I knew so I could drink, because, honey, if we drink it, let's drink.
My husband, he brings me the libations. I was like, I forgot, Lee was on this list. We have to cheers to this. So just later on, have a drink for us, because that's...
Yes, because you popping too, sis, and it's all, you know what I'm saying? It's all in his plan. Amen?
All in his plan.
Come on.
In the name. Yes.
Don't get me started because I told you I'm salty. Right. I didn't the gospel choir. I could do every move, but I was never on the gospel choir.
Why didn't you you could have auditioned?
I did, and I didn't make it, and that was it. I was done.
Why didn't you try out again?
I was done. First of all, I auditioned as a damn tenor and still didn't get it. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I love Jesus, but fuck this.
No. Oh my gosh. Yes. That gospel choir, Jesus.
That haze, honey, I heard.
It was the time of my life, but that was a crazy time.
I bet. But you know what? It built you for your life right now, okay?
Yes. That is the truth. Yes.
So genuinely speaking, how are you doing? And not like your pageant answer. Where is Candiace sitting right now after about 4 or 5 days of the world kind of digesting you getting in a fight on national television? Where is Candiace at mentally?
Well, I said I was on Wendy a few days ago.
Which I wasn't a fan of, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, yes. Most of my people and my team have said that they were not happy. And we can talk about that because I have my feelings, my thoughts too. But I'm not okay yet. Mm-hmm. I am getting to a place where I'm getting stronger, and I'm getting to a place where my skin is even still getting thicker.
Yeah.
But I thought I was okay because we wrapped filming, I think at the end of November, and then there's this period of rest and silence, and everybody's gone, and I thought, okay, I'm healing, I'm dealing with it, I'm getting over it, and then the trailer comes out, and then people start speculating, and the buzz starts to pick up again, and then. Yes, the leaking, right. All of the leaks that's a separate conversation, because the leaks are what started me on this mental, anxiety and depression spiral, because there's just something about knowing the truth and not being able to talk about the truth because you're contractually obligated not to talk about it.
Right.
And the other party is not respecting those boundaries and is using other people, I call them indentured servants from the underworld, to do your dirty work for you.
Right.
And using them to kind of spread this narrative and rewrite history, and being attacked and cyberbullied and bullied in person and bullied in my community and bullied out of, being able to do events and being removed from events because certain people are, going to DC government and to people in the DMV, trying to slander my name over something that their friend told them, which was not true. That truly, for lack of a better term, it fucks with you. It's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
And you start to think that, well, wait a minute, am I crazy? Did something happen that I know didn't happen,
Right.
that's where you go.
Right.
So I was okay in the sense that I wasn't having to directly deal with anything, but that was a really, really low time for me from like October to like January, February.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I was able to manage it because it wasn't, I wasn't filming, I wasn't around the girls, it wasn't like an in-your-face conversation with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, when the show aired and now you're doing all this lead up and then the incident is aired, it's like you think you're okay, and then all of a sudden I'm having these like breakdowns about, and I'm realizing that I'm still angry about it.
Yeah. Mm. No, you know this is the open space. Come on, be transparent.
I don't have any tissue, and
we know that's you. You.
Hold on, I got the tissue.
Get the tissue.
I'm crying my face off. Jesus. Okay, sorry. I should have known. I should have known better.
You're fine. You're fine.
No, it's really been a challenge. It's really been a challenge. And then even crying about it, you know, and expressing myself, there are people who say, oh, fuck her. She's playing the victim. She all these crocodile tears. She deserved it. And it's again, it's a mindfuck, because in what world do people who are doing their jobs deserve to be physically attacked? If we look at this arena that we play and that we work in, okay, we're talking about Housewives. You all watch Housewives of whatever city for the drama, for the contentiousness, for the friendships, the makeups and the breakups. That's what you watch for. You watch to see us argue and make up and then cry about it and then argue again and then make up again. Yeah. So why is, if the fact is that I deserved to be physically attacked for arguing, then so does Karen, Robin, Giselle, Ashley, Ashley. Okay, if that's the rationale that we're going to use, then everybody deserves to be physically attacked, and that's just not the case. Yeah, there is a line. There are boundaries, and it's not my fault that I have a degree from Howard University, working on my second one, and I don't have to use my words, and some of you don't. And when you get to a place where you can't compete verbally and orate like the rest of us, you resort to what you were taught by your mother, who taught you to always fight, which is what she has said. And it's like, it sends me to this place, like, you know, where I am a ball of emotions, and every day of late, especially, it's just a ball of emotions. Yeah.
Well, first of all, you know, one of the things that, as I've been watching your interviews on Wendy, Fox 5, wherever, and even the show, as a friend, I got to check you, because Candiace, quit saying we are Black women and we, you know, you do not represent all of us. Take that responsibility off of yourself. I know you have grown up in environments where you were the only Black girl. I know that you have always been the token, but you cannot, and any of the ladies, but you cannot put that responsibility on yourself to represent all of us, because guess what? Them white housewives be flipping tables. They've yanked ponytails. They go to prison for fraud. So as ghetto as we would like to make the Black franchises, it is not your responsibility, because to be honest, it plays out. And I understand you feel like as a public figure.
No, I feel that though. I hear what you're saying, and to a certain extent, I believe that. But there's another part of me, and maybe this is also the pageant
girl.
You feel like you do have a responsibility to represent us, because we are few. We are still few and far.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's still only 2 Black franchises. There is a celebration, in the wings for the possibility of a first Black housewife in the New York franchise. We are currently celebrating the coming of Garcelle Bouvet as the first Black housewife on Beverly Hills. Those are huge celebrations because it's still foreign for women of color to exist on this platform. And I know that Bravo is committed to more inclusion and more diversity across the board, and we appreciate that, but we're not there yet. And as such, you do feel this responsibility to not look a complete fool and not act a whole ASS, because people that live in middle America, their only depiction of a Black woman a lot of times is Atlanta Housewives, Potomac Housewives, Garcelle and Beverly. That's all they see. So that's a hard pill for me to swallow. But I agree with you. But it's hard. It's a hard pill.
Right. And I understand, because again, going back to that pageant complex of it's I'm here, I want to end the world hunger and I'm here to save everybody, but everybody can't be saved. And quite frankly, you were put in a situation. One of the things you said on Fox 5 is that, whether it had been the winery or whether there had been other opportunities, it seemed like you and Monique were going to come to a head eventually. That was going to happen regardless. And I give you kudos, because there was several times we watched on the season, and I'm sure several more that we don't get to see because this reel of these moments and the most salacious parts, but of you walking away. At Monique's lake house, she showed her whole ass, and that's where I started to see the dynamic shift. I think after those 2 episodes aired, where people, I think, going into the season, people saw Candiace as the villain, people saw Candiace as the bully, the one who always got mouth, something to say. But I think, my cousin called me, actually. I got to shout her out, D. She called me because I was on Fox 5 talking about it. And she called me and she said, listen, in the beginning of the season, I didn't like Candiace. I did not like her. But as the season watched, Candiace has grown a lot. Candiace has learned how to apologize. Candiace has learned how to remove herself. Candiace has learned she don't always have to say something. And I think, it is very admirable to watch you this season navigate, even before, the fight, watch your maturity on this show, because it really reminds me similarly of Portia on Atlanta. A lot of people didn't like her. She came off very dumb. Like she didn't always have her thoughts together, violent, and I think she's become a fan favorite throughout her tenure on Atlanta Housewives. And I'm watching that transition. So I'm happy that people are getting to see the Candiace that I know, because again, people can only assume what they see right on TV, but also your growth. And again, you said that this is going to play out throughout the season. So I'm real excited to see how this goes down, because I know there's even more you still can't say. But I mean, kudos to you for really taking growth, taking accountability, because it's difficult. And, I commend you, because you've been open about your mental health struggles. You've been open about the way that this show has added to some of your mental strife. So again, I commend you completely. But like I said, I just want you to know, if my words even mean that much, because I know I'm not in your DMs. I know I'm not. I tell people all the time, it's easy for y'all to tell celebrities not to respond to shit when you're not the person waking up to notification after notification after notification, okay? So I commend you so much for A, being so open about it, but B, more so just like taking that weight off of you, because I felt like the narrative even on the show was, we're Black women, we don't do that. And I know Potomac, especially in the beginning seasons, was known as being the upper echelon Black, and etiquette. That was the word. So I feel like there's a little play on that. But again, take that pressure off yourself, because you, Black woman, you have done so much. You are educated. You have won pageants. You're a philanthropist. You do for your community. And I want you to know that regardless of this one moment in your life, let's be clear, we all have something that if it played on the big screen, we would cringe if people got to watch. So just take that off yourself, because again, I'm just watching you do these interviews, and I love you, and I want you to know, Queen, that again, it's not on you to be Captain Miss Black Woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. I hear you. I received that. That I need to go to bed with that, because that's to really think about.
I'm gonna remind you at the end, don't worry. But I do want to clear up some things, because like I told you, I did not like the Wendy Williams interview. To me, it seemed although she is a avid watcher of the show, she didn't even have her information correct. So, because it was almost as if she was blaming you for essentially bringing Charisse in the picture, although Monique. And so explain that to me, because I know you were trying to be respectful, but yeah, I didn't like that.
So, this is what I'll say about Wendy. I was calling her Miss Wendy, and she was like, "Don't Miss Wendy me." So I won't call her Miss Wendy.
Okay.
But I'll say this too. I have been watching her show for a very long time, so I feel like I know her,
right,
through the TV. Mm-hmm. And in knowing her, Wendy watches shows, but she doesn't get invested in television. Wendy is watching TV while she's also, eating her ribs and petting her cat and flipping between, 1, 2, 3 shows at a time. Not really focused and honed in. So I didn't take it personally that she did not have her facts together, and that she was sort of viewing it from this sort of blanket forest, not looking at each tree, but looking at the entire forest.
Right.
So when she said that, oh no, you were spreading the rumors and blah, 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 blah,
mm-hmm.
It's simply was I? Because did you see it on the show? The answer is no, you did not, because it didn't happen on the show, because all of those things came out about, the alleged rumors that myself and others were spreading. Mm-hmm. That all came out after we wrapped filming. That didn't become an issue until right before after the trailer aired. I want to say it was several months, 5 months plus, that became a thing. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, there were people who asked me, "Do you know what we're filming?" People would say to me, "Do you know why Monique is upset with you? Because we don't know. We have no idea why." Mm. And I would say, I also have no idea. There was no reason. She had no reason. She came out of the woodwork with this, we're spreading rumors about her and her baby and who the baby's father is, right after the trailer aired, because she knew that she needed to have a reason, or she was going to look stupid. And surprise, you still look less than smart.
Well, and to set the record straight, to be clear, can you tell everyone again, Charisse, where that comes in? I know you said she was invited to your wedding. She was invited to the anniversary because y'all had been friends. So in no way, according to you, was there an intent to make Monique ever feel uncomfortable, because you all had a genuine friendship. So set the record straight on that, because I feel like that's really the storyline or the essence.
Yes. So to go back 2 years to 2018, that's the birth of the rumors. That is when Gigi called me, and unbeknownst to me, also called the rest of the hemisphere. She called everybody to give them this same story. Mm-hmm. I thought she was calling me to vent to me about her friend, because Gigi and I were not friends or close, but because I was friends with Monique, I'm the kind of person, if this is your best friend, then she's welcome in my orbit as well. So when she called me to vent to me, well, I was driving to the hair salon. I was driving from my house to Greenbelt. So we talked for 45 minutes, and then I got to the hair salon, and I stayed in the car to wrap up the conversation because she was just so upset and distraught. Mm-hmm. So she spilled all these beans and was talking about how Monique had dropped her and was not speaking to her, and this is her friend of 15 years, and she had her reasons for why she thought Monique was cutting her off. That's her business. Mm-hmm. I went home and told my husband,
right,
child, Gigi done called me and told me A, B, C, and D, but it all sounded so ridiculous to me. The things that she was saying, and you've heard some of the rumors, but there was a lot of stuff that she said. It all sounded crazy. So I saw no reason to bring it up, to regurgitate it to anyone. And my ask of Gigi was to try and make up with Monique. I said to her, you need to write Monique a letter. You need to try and get in touch with her and patch this up, because this is a 15-year friendship.
Right.
for me, it ended there. I forgot about it. It didn't come up anymore. Then the following January was Andy Cohen's baby shower, where there was a conversation, a very short conversation at a table, at the dinner table, that I really should not have repeated at all because it's not fair to the other people that were there. But she's trying to say now that that conversation is where I was leading the pack to start these rumors. But again, if you thought that I was spreading those rumors, which I was not, I was actually saying in that setting, this is dumb. You can't say this. This baby looks just like his father. This is not going to fly. And it ended there. That was the end of it. And it was really never heard of again.
Right.
Again, a silly conversation that didn't deserve life. So I didn't give it any life. But so then I told Karen about what was said at the table. Why would I tell Karen what was said at the table if I was involved and if I thought it was some huge crazy issue?
Right.
So Karen tells Monique, apparently. Monique knows what she thinks she knows. And she's still smiling in all of our faces, still acting like everything is fine, never brings it up. It's never brought up. And then I had a conversation with Monique at one point about the rumors, and she had told me that they were never going to come up on the show because no one at the show wanted the rumors to come up. And I said, great, we moved on. So then this was all a year and a half, 2 years ago. Why now in 2000, in this year of our Lord in 2020, is it all of a sudden a problem that someone was spreading rumors about your life? Now, let's talk about these someones. Gigi has come out in the last couple of weeks and admitted that she was the one who was spreading the rumors. She has also said that there were other people involved in spreading these rumors. One of those people was Charisse. She was talking to Charisse. I was never involved in any of those conversations. I had one conversation with Gigi 2 years ago where I encouraged her to patch up her friendship with her friend. Me inviting Charisse to my wedding and my anniversary party had nothing to do with Monique. This is my guest list. This is my wedding. Monique likes to, put out there that I make everything about me and I'm inconsiderate. Well, excuse me, ma'am, this is my fucking wedding. So if I want to invite Billy Goats and Santa Claus to my wedding, that is my entire prerogative. It's none of your business.
This is absolutely true.
So the fact that you are making me and one of my wedding guests, one of my anniversary guests about you is the first problem. Number two, if you were so upset about Charisse coming to my event, why did you say nothing to me? Why did I never hear about it? Why am I only hearing about it in your interviews and in confessionals after we've wrapped?
Right.
Why also, if you are so upset with Charisse and you don't want to talk to Charisse, were you just seen 2 months prior to my party in a photo standing right next to Charisse Jackson Jordan, literally like this, posed in a photo at Ashley Darby's baby shower? Like, what? Help me understand. If you are so disgusted with this woman, how are you in a photo with her 2 months prior? I need to understand that. So the Charisse stuff is more fodder, and it's poppycock, and it's more BS that she's trying to use to not have to be accountable for physically attacking me on television.
Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like the aggression and what I feel when I watch is, to be honest, Monique is running in circles to make sure that conversation about her husband is just not the topic of discussion. And it's easier to attack Candiace because y'all have had a rift than it is to acknowledge it. And, you know, one of the things my cousin and I were talking about when we were talking about the show again was the fact that, you know, Monique was so up in arms about the private conversation that had happened between you, Giselle, and Ashley when you all were confronting her about Michael, but yet you don't want people to talk about marriages, but you wanted everyone to be in a group conversation with Ashley being informed that her husband was out and about. It's not making real sense. So it became very apparent to me that in this season, you were very calculated attack because y'all had previous history, but also it just kind of took the heat off of, I think the aggression was, she felt like for whatever reason, Charisse is the source of this rumor being spread around town. You're cool with Charisse, and so I'm coming at you every opportunity. But to your point, she had every opportunity to pull you aside at some point and say, why are you saying this?
Why are you saying these things? We talked while we were filming often. I remember a specific conversation we had on a Sunday that the episode, whatever episode it was airing, and she was texting me to tell me that she had lunch with Giselle finally, because I'd always said that if her and Giselle, you know, could put their issues aside, they could be friends. So she was telling me that they had lunch, and I was like, oh, are you guys besties now? That's great. She's like, yeah, we talked. I told her, you know, how I felt, and I think it's going to be okay, or whatever she said. Mm-hmm. And she never mentioned in that conversation that Giselle had said to her that I invited Charisse to my party and I did it to start a fire with her. It never came up. I saw her in every scene. We were at her house, we traveled together, never came up. So help me understand how you are so angry about this now. Now, I will say this. In an effort to clean up her mess, but in that effort, she ended up putting her big foot in her mouth anyway. She has an Instagram live where she changes the story for the 15th time and says, oh no, the rumors had nothing to do with the fight. I got upset and tried to fight her because she was giving me that energy. Which makes even less sense to me. I was giving you what energy? And if you want to go off of energy and fight like a wild person over energy, what about Robin's energy when she put the umbrella, or when you put the umbrella in her neck? What about Ashley calling you an alcoholic and a drunk, crashing your rented car into a ditch in Potomac? What about Giselle and every attempt that she has made from the moment you stepped onto this cast to haze you and make you uncomfortable in the group? Everyone has had their turn giving you energy, but nowhere in there did you feel the need to physically attack them. You have threatened it, and there is a history, roll the tape, of her threatening to attack people and put people on the pavement and choke them out with umbrellas and, you know, this, that, and the third. But you never acted on those things. But you want to act on them with me and say that it was about my energy? No, you're a lunatic. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. I know, obviously, you can't talk about whether you get your contract renewed or who's going to be on next season, but I'm interested to see because, you know, her and her husband went live basically saying they were done with the show, and that Giselle was one of those people spreading rumors about her, or I don't know, the energy shifted. When I watched the live or the clips back, I was confused, and it feels sporadic now. Now, maybe I got to watch the rest of the season to conclude what the hell is going on, to piece it all together, but I'm just really, really lost. And so I'm interested to see how this concludes this season.
So what, you know, you're confused and you are living on the outside. Right. I am literally the other party in the middle of this, and I'm confused. I will say that there is a lot more that transpires with this incident, but also with the entire group and the group dynamic throughout the season that you have to watch. But I honestly, I don't see there being any resolution. I don't see there being any resolution of the conflict or resolution of confusion. That is going to continue simply because this person has put out so many different versions of the narrative. It's like when you have spaghetti and you just throw it at the wall to see what's going to stick. She's just been throwing spaghetti at the walls since the day after the fight to try and see what's going to stick, what people will pick up, what her blind, ignorant band of loyal followers are going to pick up and run with on the blogs. She's a master spin doctor. And she has put so many things out there that it's really impossible from her to get the truth and the facts. And that's why I've said from the beginning, you really have to have your own pencil and paper and take your own notes to discern for yourself what went down. And even if you can't do that, fret not, reunion is on the way, and we will be able to live in living color, well, not live, but in living color, hash out and give you the full gamut. You'll get to sort of talk through everything. And there's no way or reason or space for her to run or spin or, go back and try to change something she said. It's all out there. And furthermore, people keep asking me, if she apologized or if she showed remorse, would you be willing to move forward? And my answer to that is, this incident happened almost a year ago. This happened at the middle of October, and we're almost in October now. Right. It was the next day that the rumors of me throwing a glass and throwing the wine at her to provoke the fight, that all started the day after. She has had almost a year to find some home training and find some remorse to admit that she was wrong or that she initiated the fight by making physical contact with me first. Instead of doing that, in July of 2020, she wrote me a song bragging about what she did. So we're shooting Reunion soon. I would probably throw up if she tried to fix her mouth to offer me an apology. Because I'll tell you what, it's not genuine. You're only apologizing now because you are being dragged through the mud by blogs and viewers and even your little fans that were following behind you and believed your mess and your lies for almost a year. They all saw what the 6 cameras put on the TV, that you were the initiator of this incident and that you were gunning and coming at me all season prior to. But for some reason, she's stuck in the sunken place and can't let go of this lie. She's just riding it till the wheels fall off. And really it's only of late that she's now starting to kind of turn around and say that she wants to work on her and move forward. And it's sad. It's really sad that a grown woman who purports herself to be one way would allow her true colors to come out in this way. It's really unfortunate.
Well, listen, honey, I need you to come to this reunion, Candiace, and give us these receipts, please. Okay, I'm just saying, in the housewives realm of reunions, we've seen printed out text messages, we've seen the receipts, and all I'm saying is, you know how to gather the girls. I won't get, and listen, I'm gonna be at home with my poster boards because I'm waiting. I love a Candiace read. Okay, I live. So I'm just waiting for this reunion because, baby, it's going to go down. It's going to go down. I just hope they have security, child, because.
Well, unfortunately, yes, there will have to be security. Yeah, and it really is unfortunate. Somebody messaged me the other day and said something like, why were the producers breaking up the fight? There should have been security there. And I said to them, why? We were never a show prior to this incident that needed security. This is not Basketball Wives. This is not Love and Hip Hop. No, those franchises, because they have,
right.
blazed a trail in their own right. But when you walk into those productions, you know what you're getting. You know that that's what, we have never been a franchise that has needed security. So yes, you've got producers who's it's not in their job description, breaking up a fight. That's where we are. And that I can leave you with that, because that's enough, that you have changed the dynamic of this space so much that now we need to have security to keep order. That's insane.
Yeah, that says a lot. Child, let me tell y'all between last season and this season, honey, y'all are reeling in the fans. And I want to talk about another dynamic, because I don't know how this season plays out. It's obviously already been shot, so I don't know what happens. But I was really happy to see you and Ashley start to evolve. I was really, really happy to see that, because, again, I met all the ladies. I met Ashley, and I think that, of the cast, she's the most naive sometimes. But I think that, you know what? I'm gonna leave that there, because you know what? Clearly, something's about to happen. I don't know what it is. I was excited for you and Ashley, though. I will tell you that.
You know what? It's 2020, okay? Anything at all is possible. That's what I'll say. It's the devil. I feel like we're in the rapture. Like, we are in the last book of the Bible, honey.
Revelations to the fullest.
It's possible. Like, I'm waiting for the trumpets, because anything is possible, okay? Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. I wish her on her mommy journey well. I wish her well on that journey.
Maybe.
But that's what I'll say. There is more to that story that will come out in a few episodes that you all need to see. There's a lot. There's a lot that kind of plays out a little at a time, but there's a specific incident that just, you got to see.
You know what, Candiace? At the end of the reunions, we're going to have to do another interview, because you know what?
This brief, right? You got to
y'all listen, y'all Potomac Housewives are stirring the motherfucking pot, okay?
How did we get here? I have no idea. You come on to these shows and you think you have an idea and you set your goals, and I have set mine, but then, the Lord just like tosses you something else, and it's like, okay, I got to catch all these things. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. But, even in dealing with all the craziness, and people ask me this too. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you on this show? Why are you doing this? Right, it seems like it's causing so much heartache and so much strife. And yes, it is. It's like, this is probably one of the most difficult times in my life. But I came onto this show and onto this franchise because I knew the effect that Bravo could have on my brand. Mm-hmm. And I came with a set of goals, and I'm slowly but surely accomplishing those goals. So that makes it worth it for me. I'm working on my music. My EP will be closer to being finished soon. I'm going back in the studio in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And you can still download my 2 singles, I See Remix, on all streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. I finished a movie for BET, which is a result of my platform on this show.
Amazing.
I just, in February, I did a guest spot on the Netflix series.
Yes.
And they actually started back filming because they were in recession because of COVID. So shout out to the Family Reunion family. Congratulations. They're back.
Will we see you again? Is there?
It's very possible.
Okay.
We're crossing our fingers. Yes.
Okay.
That it's an all black writer's room, and it's just blackety black on the Paramount lot. Okay. And it was a dream to be in the midst of all of that magical blackness. So I would love for them to invite me back.
Give her a ring. Give her a ring, Netflix.
That I'm focusing on instead of and in spite of all of the craziness.
Okay, now listen, Twitter is asking, so I do have to ask. What was the wig glue? What was it sewn in? Candiace, because she tugged, but sis, that wig didn't go anywhere. And the world would like to know what the hell, who the hell, what kind of sorcery? Because sis, it was like 5 seconds. When they broke y'all up, the hair was up. By 5 seconds, it was back down. I was like, what the fuck kind of sorcery? And who is doing that in the DMV?
Well, so I actually haven't talked about this. So you're kind of getting, this is an exclusive moment.
Okay, give it to me.
So while I was down, I went down. So this person grabbed me by my hair. She pulled me down onto the table.
Right.
I went down because I was following my wig. Okay. Right. And as a Black woman, no,
you're not dewigging you.
You don't touch a Black woman's hair. And that to me says, Monique, she clearly doesn't respect Black women, because you don't touch a Black woman's hair, especially a wig. You don't do that. And why would you want to expose a Black woman's cornrows on national television? Because you don't respect Black women. Because Monique wears wigs.
Right.
You wear wigs. And either you don't respect us, or you are that below the belt that you just don't care. So I went down to follow my wig down, and she started to lift from the back. At whatever point, I had one hand here and I had my glass in this hand. At some point, my glass is removed from my hand. I don't know where it went. And I had both of my hands, my nails dug into the front of my wig. And Leah, when I tell you, I wasn't thinking about nothing else. There were 20 people on top of us. Okay. I was like cocooned in this cocoon of arms, and I couldn't hear anything. I didn't feel anything. My only thought was, Candiace, your wig cannot come off, because what will not happen is your wig come off and you be fighting in your cornrows, and that be the legacy that lives in infamy on the interwebs for the rest of time. That's not your legacy. That's not your legacy. That will not be your legacy. I was determined. Whatever happens, you are not pulling this off of my head.
You will not take it down.
In addition to that, shout out to Got to Be, because Got to Be glued.
Okay. We need a sponsorship right now. Got to Be. Okay, girl, fuck that. You better make a coin. You better play that back and be like, Got to Be. Okay.
Okay, Got to Be Glued was holding me together, but I had my nails dug right here at the hairline, because it was glued to my hair. So if she had ripped it off, she would have ripped my hair out. Yeah. And like, you are not over no pet. Like, I didn't sleep with your man. I didn't steal one of your kids. Right. I didn't steal your money. You are a lunatic. This is lunacy, and you are a psycho. And I'm not going to allow the demons that are inside of you to scalp me and have me living in infamy in my cornrows on these internets. Not on Beyonce's internet, not on Al Gore's internet, not on on nobody's internet. That's that story. That's literally my thought. This can't come off. It has to stay on. It has to stay on. I didn't hear anything else. Like, when I watched the tape, I was like, wow, I didn't realize people were screaming. I didn't realize any of that was happening. It all went black. It was like, wait.
Because you said it all. You said, is my wig still on? That's what you said. Is my wig still on?
It's like, what is going on? Like, what are we doing? Like, and I came up and I was just like, this is great. What? Those were my only thoughts.
That is the most Black woman shit ever. That is the most Black woman shit ever.
Not my wig.
And I will say this, though. I am glad that Wendy took that damn knife. Not because I think you have the capacity to stab her, but anybody's pure reaction to being hit would have been, I'm going to hit you with what's in my hand. So that could have been a disaster. I'm so glad. And
me picking up the knife, so like, I do that all the time. I pick up my glass.
You're a knife girl.
Attention. Right. That was what that was. Now, I was obviously a little tipsy, as I think we had been sipping wine.
Right.
But my picking up that knife was in no way threatening. I wasn't thinking of being threatening.
Right.
My entire goal in even speaking in any of those moments was to de-escalate. I was joking. I was trying to be funny.
Play it off.
Yeah. Right. It was, because I knew she was trying to go there. So it's like, okay, girl, okay, let me just give you all of this, and I'm going to spin around, and you was asleep. And I didn't realize I was doing all that. I was laughing at that. But it was all meant to bring a lighter air to the space.
Right.
I was angry. And you've seen me angry, okay? Yeah. Seeing Candiace get mad.
Right.
There was no anger or rage in me at all. I was literally trying to not go there with her because I knew that she wanted that. She wanted it.
Right.
But I said this too. I said this to somebody. I'm glad that it happened when it did, because like I said on Fox, it was going to happen. It was inevitable. She wanted it to happen. Yep. Unbeknownst to me, she wanted to fight me. Right. And she was going to get that fight one way or the other. I keep thinking about if we had been in Portugal and she had done that, we would have been in Portuguese jail. Like, you fighting in foreign countries, and we're like the only Black people on this little tiny island.
Out of there.
Jail. It could have been a much worse scenario. So if she was going to lose whatever religion she has and make herself look like an idiot, I'm glad that she did it there and not, in
Poolsville, Maryland.
Right, in Poolsville. We're very sorry, Poolsville. As I'm leaving the barn, I think I looked at somebody and I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is just not, this is not what I do.
Right. And we saw that too when you called Chris in the car. You were devastated. You were not expecting that. I said that on Fox because I had played our interview. And our last interview was very shortly after that situation. It wasn't that far after that. And I remember asking you, do you think there is any reconciliation? And you were just like, and I had said to the Fox 5 team when they had asked me, like, what do you think? And I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that there's a certain level of TV drama that, Candiace is used to. And I think that fight stepped completely outside of the realm of where she was. I was like, watch her call her husband frantically afterwards. Candiace was not prepared to come there and do that. That was not a part of the agenda. That was not on the call sheet. That was not a suggested scene. So, I know you, and that's not how you move. So again, it was unfortunate to see, but to your point, I think it was bound to happen just with the way things were coming to a head. And you walked away plenty of times, so I think that everyone understands that is not what you came there to do that day. But I do want to dive into some other things that were happening on the season before this completely blocked it. I was really interested in your fears about childhood and due to like past trauma and just other things. And I wanted you to kind of dive into that because I feel like that would have probably been part of the storyline if it wouldn't have been hijacked.
Thank you for saying that, Leah, because people have been saying, oh, this is her only storyline. No.
Yeah.
We canceled scenes were cut. So much was cut. We followed me with one of my pageant clients. We had a whole thing planned for me to do something with children to kind of practice being a mom. Because this took over. We didn't get to see my music, but there was more that happened with my music that we didn't get to see because this took over. And then I was kind of beside myself at one point, and I couldn't focus on anything else.
Yeah.
So because there was plenty else that could have made air, and it didn't because somebody doesn't know how to act. Yeah. But to answer your question, yes, I've been very open about my journey to potentially becoming a mom, and I'm still figuring it out.
Right.
I'm still a conversation that we have often. We are currently still looking for a new home.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if and when I find the house that I want, that will kind of help me to feel ready to kind of nest and, imagine my family in our new home, wherever it's going to be. It's just such a permanent thing.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Policy. You can't take the baby back to Target and get a refund.
Right.
The baby is here. It's like, okay, I have to keep you forever and ever. And I still call my mom like, help me. She still has to parent me. I still call my dad like, how do you do this? He's still parenting me and I'm 33. So it's like, I sometimes don't even want to police myself, but I have to now police a whole human and a whole husband and a whole me. That's a lot of people.
Right. Well, no, and I kind of identified with, you being just transparent about, your relationship with your mother and the struggles that y'all have had, which we've seen on previous seasons. I have a very tumultuous relationship with my mom. And, it was important for me to go to therapy because there are negative things that I was like, damn, I do not want to do this to my own kids. And that alone comes with its own set of fears because you're constantly questioning, as much therapy as you go to, as much growing as you do, especially sometimes when your parents aren't receptive. We've watched as your mom has sometimes been turned a blind eye to the things that you have said. So, because my mom's like that too. They're old school. They don't, and even though your mom is in the mental health profession, it's sometimes hard to see your own shit. And I've learned, again, through therapy, your parents are trying the best that they can. However, when you start to think about, your own family and the things that, the trauma that you've been through that impacts your future children, it scares the plumb shit out of you.
Yes. And I think it's natural. I think it's important to say that it's natural for everyone as you are journeying through parenthood, becoming a parent, and thinking about becoming a parent. It's natural to compare your journey to becoming a parent to your own journey being a child and being parents. That's a natural human thing. You make comparisons. And I'm no different. I look at my childhood, which was very charmed. I had everything that I wanted. I was an only child for 10 years. I never wanted for anything. My mom has worked incredibly hard, as has my dad and my step-parents, to give myself and my siblings the life that we have, the charmed life that I've been able to live.
Right.
Because she has established generational wealth for her children. And I feel a pressure to do that as well, to kind of mom that sets up her children to not have to struggle, to understand the value of money and a dollar and the value of hard work, but to not have to struggle. Because I think as Black people, we have this idea that we have to glorify this struggle and glorify going through strife and pain. And that's not the case. We don't, doesn't have to be glorified. If that's your story, then 100% thank God and for your resilience and for your strength to be able to come up out of that. But we shouldn't be glorifying struggle. We should glorify working to create generational wealth and working to understand the economy and understand finances and understand balancing a checkbook and how to create business and enterprise and wealth within our communities as a Black community. And my mom has done that. And she has given me a world of knowledge and a world of understanding. But she also, she gave me some stuff that I got to work through too.
Right.
And it is what it is. And it's a daily struggle. And I think for my mom and I both, having seen ourselves on television has been very helpful in helping us to learn how to better argue and how to love each other in our love languages.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, you're getting your master's right now at Howard again. So that's like another baby. That's a whole extra baby, like late nights, little sleep, stress. It's a baby.
It's my child right now. Yes.
Yeah.
MBA coming to
Okay.
you next year. Yes.
What made you want to go back?
I've always wanted to obtain an advanced degree.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are physicians, so there was always that pressure of I have to be where they are. I have to do better than my parents. That's how they raised me. And I wanted to be a doctor when I was very young, and I loved talking about the human body. I was always somehow sitting in a room full of doctors and my parents and their friends. And I was like the only child for a long time. So I would just sit there and listen to them. And I knew I wanted to be a doctor. And then I got to, I think, 9th grade, and I realized that math and science wasn't my friends.
Yeah.
I had to find a little something else that struck my fancy. And I loved reading. I loved writing. I loved orating, and communication sort of became that thing for me. Right. And even in shifting my career focus, I knew that I still needed to obtain an advanced degree to feel like I was measuring up to the legacy that my parents were leading and leaving for myself and my siblings. So it just became a matter of, what am I passionate enough about that I could get a degree in? And then I love learning. I miss that we're not in a classroom setting because it's all virtual now. But I love learning. I love lecture. I love, communicating with my cohorts. Learning new things is like, it's like the new black for me. So the idea that I get to sit and spend time growing and expressing myself and learning and figuring out, the business world is, it's fun. It's challenging. It's hard, but I complain, but it's a complaint like, man, this sucks. And I love it. It's, it's like you're to the challenge of it all.
Right. Yeah. And Howard has like one of the most prestigious business schools at any HBCU. So because I had considered going back to get my MBA, and then I was like, let me stop playing because I'm not doing all that.
Why not? You should do it. We can talk about it because so far we're only in our second. I start my second class tomorrow. Each class is 5 weeks. It's 8 months. It's a little pricey, but that's Howard private education.
That's very, very pricey.
But so far, and our cohort is brilliant. Like if you're in a good cohort, you're set because everybody kind of challenges each other. We have each other's backs, and you kind of move through it together. And my first class was cool. It was good. That 10-page paper almost.
That's what Candiace, ma'am. I'm in broadcast. Like we write like 2 sentences. Like here it is.
But you're in broadcast. You have a journalism background. You know how to write. And get you a Mac, girl, and press the function key and dictate your paper. I don't type my papers anymore.
Okay, that's fair.
I dictate my papers. And I can talk, as you can tell. I can run my mouth all day. So before you know it, I have 5 pages. And you go back and you proofread it. It can be done. If you want to do it, it can be done.
Okay, I'm just hoping I get famous enough, Howard give me an honorary degree and I'll be a doctor like that. Honestly, that's what I'm praying. I'm like, let me just work my ass off in this broadcast thing.
Yes, that could be a thing. Yes, you're on the way. Yes.
Try, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Candiace, I don't want to keep you up all night. I've had an hour of your time, but I thank you so much for being candid. I appreciate you being honest. I appreciate you talking to me. And again, I'm always rooting for you. I love you. I support you. And again, as I said before, it is not on you to wear the weight of the Black woman card. So rest easy and assured knowing that you were not the first Black woman to fuck up publicly. You will not be the last. And it is not your weight to carry because it was not you that initiated. Anyway, on that note, honey, I always got in with a little lemonade now. All right, we're Candiace. Thank you so much. Tell everybody where they can see you for this holiday season on what network. Also, where they can see you on Netflix and also your music. Tell everybody.
Yes, so you can catch me on BET this December, mid-December. I think we don't have a date yet. And we're not saying the name of the film yet, but it is a hilarious, very heartfelt, a little bit of tragedy. It gives you everything. An amazing Christmas film coming out this December, starring myself, Brave Williams, Asia Epperson. It's an amazing cast. We had such an amazing time on the set. Shout out to Octet Productions and Chuck West. They put it down. They gave us a great platform and a great space to create amazing art. So you can catch me on that in December. Netflix Family Reunion Season 2. They are back in production now. So that should be coming out probably at the top of the year, I would assume.
Okay.
Working on music. You can download my 2 singles, I See You and I See You the Remix, now on all streaming platforms, and look for my new music. I'm probably going to drop like a snippet of a song in the next month or so. So look out for that. But I'm so excited about my music. My music it's R&B, it's rock, it's got a little pop in there. It's
everything.
Yes. So look for that. Hopefully that project will be completed.
I need a happy birthday ballad just for the trolls. I need it ballad, like belting, Candice, belting.
Put that on the end. Tack that on the end of the project.
Like an outerlude.
Yes.
Happy birthday. Literally. And you gotta make sure you hear the clinking of the glass. Clink, clink. Happy birthday. Take us home, Candice.
Yes. I have to work that out with the people.
Yes, you have to. Well, again, Candice, thank you so much. And I love you, and I'm always proud, and keep being authentic and keep being honest, because that is why people are growing to love who you are. It's great to see the transition and the growth on the show. So continue. And honey, like I said, we might got to get together at the end of the season. We might have the post reunion show, because
for sure. 1000%. I think it's going to be necessary.
Yeah, and I think even after the reunion, they don't give us all we need, and drama ensues, and so we'll do a post show live, and we'll get it popping, because I need to dive in.
Because it's like we're there for the whole day,
all day. Mm-hmm.
I'll text you after and give you a little
nugget, give a debrief, because honey, y'all cutting up this season, child.
To say the least, yes, yes.
Well, yes. Okay, Candice, have a good night and be safe.
You too.
Will do. Love you, boo.
Love you.